Hello everybody, welcome back to Sin City Living. This is Jason bringing you today's video. Today's video comes off of an email I got. The only email I've gotten out of the last like 2.5 weeks or so. And unfortunately it's not a strategy question, or it's not a strategy I can feature for you guys, but it's just a question that I can answer, so I'm happy to do that for you. By the way, thank you Brad for the coffees. First person to buy us coffees in probably 5 or 6 months, so very, very appreciated. So this player, they have a very basic strategy. They play 160. They play 160 across. And then he says he occasionally does, $5 dual presses or sister presses occasionally. So somewhat little basic 1-unit presses. And his question was, is there any way to tweak his strategy to improve his money-making capabilities? Well, yes and no, and that gets a little bit complicated. Don't forget, by the way, everybody, online casino, sportsbook, craps, low limits, check the links down below. So yes and no. Here's the problem with the strategies, with all the strategies, is you want to do a couple of different things. You want to win money. You also don't want to lose money. And despite the claims from regression strategists and hedgers and stuff like that, the two are mutually exclusive. You cannot hedge yourself in such a way that you don't lose money and still win money. Basically, the more your strategy leans towards not losing, the less you're going to win when you catch the hot rolls. The more your strategy leans towards winning money, the more you're going to lose when you don't catch those hot rolls. You have to find that balance of risk versus reward of what is going to be acceptable to you. There's a whole bunch of regression strategists that will always say, oh, every time I play, I win, a few $100s. Yeah, it's a bunch of BS. That's, it's apocryphal stories that are just absolutely meaningless to people that see 10,000 strategies every freaking year and see probably 1,000 regression strategies every single year. Actually, probably 100,000 strategies every year and 10,000 regressions. We see them all. The regression strategies, the head strategies, the power press strategies, the sister press strategies, the mid press, we see them all. So, all the apocryphal stories people always give, it's just a bunch of BS. The dealers, we know what wins. We know what doesn't. We know what can last longer. And that's the thing. When I say you pick, what do you want to focus more on, winning money or not losing? And there are strategies. We see head strategies that we'll see the player playing, and we will actually make the comment of, this is a player that we will not be able to break. This is a player that is not going to lose. Or if they do, it's going to take 20 hours to beat them out of their couple $100 buy-in. However, when we see that, we also know that this player is just invisible to us. They're not going to win either. They may think they are, and they may have their plans but they're not going to win. But they're not going to lose. So that some of those head strategies are great. Regression strategies. We see regression strategies, and all we know is that we just need to add about 30% longer to how long it's going to take for this player to get broke and walk away, versus a player that is doing the exact same initial bet without regressing. So, if you got a player that does 96 across and then regresses themselves down to 64 across, or plays, 160 and then regresses down to 96 across, let's say, or 64, let's say 64 across. Someone who does this strategy and then regresses down to 64 across, we know that's going to take, it would take us an hour to break to have somebody lose that does 160 across, so we know it's going to take about an hour and a half to get rid of this strategy, this person, if the table is cold. If the table is hot, then we know this player isn't going to win as much. Like, as soon as we see anything that is not just basically going for it, we also know that we don't have to worry about having to do a massive color up. So with your strategy and wanting to tweak it, it just depends, because any kind of tweak you do to increase your earning potential is also going to decrease how much you are collecting every time something hits. So right now you're doing very, very, very minimal presses. Now, you said that you're doing sister presses. My recommendation to that is to actually, if it were me, I would probably switch to a mid-press type of situation versus a sister press thing. For instance, you get paid 35 bucks here, and let's say you sister press. You want to sister press the 6 and 8. So you throw in $2, you can collect your green, and you press them both by $6. I would prefer to just sister press the number that hits. I would prefer to sister press the number that hits, because what that can do is it can increase your earning much, much quicker should the same number hit multiple times. Let's say we have 4 6s, let's say 5 6s, 2 8s come out during a roll. So the first player goes ahead and sister presses. The second, or goes ahead and mid presses. The second player collects their $23 and does a sister press. The first time the 6 hits. So let's say 6 hits again. So now this player will, oh, I'm sorry, they also collected their $23. Just keep track. So now they say, you know what, let me go ahead and go to 60. Whereas the sister press player takes their $30 and once again sister presses themselves up. Okay, so that's 2 hits there. So we get a hit on the 8 now. So the 8 rolls, this player just goes ahead and mid presses. So we've got 49 rolling. And we sister press. So we got 2 and 1. And what do we say? 6 and 2? 5 and 2? 5 and 2. So 2 and 1. So now let's have the 6 roll again. Now, if we want to keep a small sister press, then we're just going to, or small mid press, we're just going to go to 72. I would go to 90, but we can just go to 72. All right, then we've got the other player. 6. They throw in some money so that they can, once again, sister press. That's 2 hits on the 8. 3 hits on the 6. So, hit number 4 pays 84, so we'll take 85. Go. And 3, they'll collect right there, and they go up to 60 apiece. Let's hit number 4. Now the 5th hit. So I'll go to 120. Now this player is going to get paid their 70. They'll win their $2. And this actually may have come out pretty close to even. Let's take a look. $276 in profit. $140 or $243. So slight edge to this person. But what you see as you look at it is, as more numbers roll on the same number, the payouts get higher and higher and higher and higher. Which is why I like going ahead and just mid pressing the one number that hits. Sister pressing is not bad. When you mid press, what that means is that your sister number is actually lower. Should it hit again, or should it hit? So there's definitely pros and cons. So I'm not saying this is what you should do. I'm just saying this is one possible tweak, because really, tweaking your strategy when you're doing 160 across, there's not much to tweak. It's just what type of betting strategy do you want to do? How much are you willing to risk? So I hope you find this interesting. Thank you very, very, very much for the email. And we will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye now.